Yo, what is up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Oh, I probably overmodulated right there. Bring my volume down. Yo, what is up, everyone? I'm Nic Suriano. We got
And I am Xavier.
Xavier. That's new. I like that. So, guys, we got a cool podcast for you guys today. We're gonna be talking about social medias, how we got started, how you can get started, how you could start racking in the views, racking in that cash flow from the AdSense.
And the pimp game.
Yeah. Heck yeah,
It's
Xavier. Butters. We lit, fam. We out here. I guess we'll start this podcast off. Also, while we're doing the podcast, you guys can ask questions below, like always, and we'll try our best to answer them to the best of our ability. So, oh, we got outfit changes. I wasn't wearing this last time. Xavier, wait, were you wearing that hat the last time? All right, well, shout out to Xavier's hat. I like it. And I got my, I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna be decapitated real quick. We got this.
You got the
We got the fanny pack on. We rocking it. Jean jacket. You know, we gotta go all out. We're slowly gonna get better and better with this. Let's cut into a close-up shot, and we'll get into talking all about that good stuff. All right, here we be. I guess. Do you want me to start off, or you to start off? We talk.
You start over. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I feel you. So, I started off my. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the YouTube, how I got started with the YouTube, and then I'll go into Xavier. Will go into his YouTube, and then we'll talk about how you could start up and all that good stuff, what you should be downloading, what you should be doing. So, I started off with YouTube. I wanted to be a filmmaker. Started off my channel. Actually, I started off as parkour. If you scroll down to the bottom of my channel, you'll see all of my old parkour videos and old skits that I used to do.
Me too.
Are you serious, bro? I want to see your vaults and your tricks and all that good stuff.
It's more like a flubbery flutter. It's just.
Oh, I just noticed actually the lagginess that was happening on your camera is not as bad as it was last time. It's like it's there, but it's way better.
Yeah, it's way better.
But guys, we're making steps, baby steps, and we'll get there. But yeah, I started off as parkour. I thought I was gonna be this big parkour expert. I would go to these jams, these meetups in New York, flip around, do all the cool flippy things, and then from there. We went and I started posting it on YouTube, started doing that, and then I went into high school and was introduced into filmmaking through my film class. I got really into filmmaking, loved making films. I won a few awards, started posting my films to YouTube. That's why you guys will see films sometimes here and there through my, I'll be posting them on my channel. And someone just said those fight videos, he said Nick has those good fight videos, but they are super short. That's a lot of editing. Dude,
but they are amazing.
Thank you, Xavier.
They are amazing.
I appreciate that. But so much editing goes into those, so much more than like say a tutorial. But I genuinely love making those. Like love making those because you know it's my filmmaker, my inner filmmaker self coming out. But yeah. So I started off the filmmaking, did all that good stuff. Started uploading it. It wasn't hitting as well. I was getting some views on my channel and just kind of doing what I wanted to do, which I will recommend when everybody's starting. Just do what you want to do, and the views will come eventually. And then I posted a card throwing challenge, because I've always done magic since I was little. Didn't see much card throwing on YouTube. There was very little on YouTube. You search card throwing, you got basically nothing. There was no channel that was dedicated to card throwing at the time. Posted my card throwing challenge. It was like a short little video I made with my friends. This was before we'd done any sort of in your face like, hey everyone, I'm Nick, blah blah blah, this is my channel. None of that. It was always short films and parkour videos. There's none of that. This was our first attempt at it, and out of nowhere it got like 150,000 views, and it was like it kind of like blew my mind, and I kind of like it was very stupid at the time, but I dropped everything else and just started pursuing YouTube because I saw that happen. I saw the the little bit of money I made from it, which is a big deal when I was in high school. So I was like, geez, I can make money online. It's crazy. So it wasn't so much the money for me. It was just because it was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed that people liked seeing what I enjoyed doing, and that kind of like blew my mind in a way. So we started making skits, we started making YouTube videos, started my little like production, No Way Is Way Productions, if you guys remember that, and And then things happened. Some people left, some people stayed, and I turned it into Nic Suriano, which is my channel today. Continue posting the card throwing, continue posting the magic, and it kind of like branched off. I would have never in a million years would have guessed that I would have had anything to do this seriously with magic or card throwing on my channel or just in my life right now. It really came out of nowhere, and I was not expecting it at all. It kind of just happened. Yes, magic was a big hobby of mine, but it just turned into my YouTube, which I was not expecting at all, and it was definitely a weird turn. It came out of the blue. So that's kind of my story. That's how I got to where I'm at. That's how I started with my channel, and let Xavier kick it off with his channel.
I did it for the money.
I knew there was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be this build up. I knew you were gonna do it. Where I was gonna build up, and I was gonna be like, "Now here's Xavier," and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I did it to get the women's." Like I knew you were gonna say something like that. All the ladies. Take it away, Xavier.
I never really cared about social media for years. You know, I'm old enough that I remember YouTube starting, and you could only join YouTube if you had a college email or an alumni email. That's how long I've been in this game.
Got an OG.
At stjohns.edu. You know what I'm saying? Alumni. Anyway. So when, you know, social media for me was always this thing of, it wasn't a business. It wasn't a thing to do to grow. It was just a way to keep in contact with people, meet new people. That was really it. So for a long time, that's what it was for me. It was just me, you know, hey, what's up? We're going to go out. You're going to meet me here, blah, blah, blah. And then post pictures of the stupid stuff you're doing when that was possible. You know, MySpace back then and Facebook, they didn't have phones, didn't have the capabilities like that. So it was very different back then. It was all computer based, which is crazy now that it's all mobile based. But
so weird.
Yeah. So then I started getting more serious into magic, and still social media wasn't a thing until I started my business about, I would say, 6 years ago, when I started a company called The Daily Deception, which started out as a blog for magic. It was like a tabloid. It ended up being. But I just started posting the posts that I would make, the posts that I would do with other people. I would start collaborating with people. And then 2 or 3 people teamed up with me, and we tried to make it a legit thing. And that worked for a few years. It was fun. If any of you guys know Wayne Houchton, the reason why everybody knew about him getting burned was because of my website. I got all the information first. Everybody contacted me first. My website was the place to go.
It still is. It still is, Xavier.
I was the man at the Daily Deception. You know what I'm saying? But then one of the guys who I used to teach, this guy Zhang Lu, comes up to me. He goes, "I want to put out a magic trick." So I start contacting my friends who work at these magic companies, and it kind of fell through. I said, you know what? Let's do it together. And that was the first product I put out. Sci-Fi Project by Zhang Lu was the first product I put out. And that was the big change for me, because then social media wasn't just about posting what you're doing. There was a goal, right? There was a purpose. So I brought him on board, and one of my other students, Wei Ding, who I'm actually going to see later. And he really started pushing social media. He was like, we got to get on Instagram. We got to do the YouTube thing. There was another guy who I had on board, Tom, who is he does like YouTube shows. He goes to the YouTube conventions and he performs. And that was an interesting ride when it first started. And even with that, it didn't become that serious until about a year ago for me, to be honest. The rest of it was always just, I'm going to post this product and people will know about it, and then they'll buy stuff from me. And last year was when Chris Ramsey broke me down, and I finally started to jump into YouTube and Instagram, social media, and take it seriously. And everything 180 degrees changed. And I love some of it. I hate a lot of it. I'm not somebody who enjoys social media, which is why even now I still struggle with it, but changed my life. And I think if people understand that the world is different, man. It's a different world. People don't give a crap about the big boy companies. They want people they could trust. They want people they could talk to. They want people they can interact with. And that's what social media gives them from a business standpoint, you know? So if you're, I mean, with all the 14 million of you watching, if I could tell you one thing, if you're a business owner, don't shit on social media.
Oh yeah.
You need it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody needs it. Whether it's Yelp, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Open Table, all of these things are social media platforms where your product becomes a discussion. And if you're not part of that discussion, then nobody cares about your product. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
That's my little journey into social media, and what it's some of what it's done for me. But it's been I mean, look, I'm hanging out with Nic now, big boy Nic, because of social media.
Yeah, it's a life changer. Like, and I'm not saying that like lightly. Like, I wouldn't be doing the things I'm doing today, wouldn't be at where I'm at. And, you know, and I'm not saying, oh, you know, I'm doing this, blah, blah. No, but like, there's certain things that I would have never imagined that I would be doing. And I'm doing it, you know, and it's really crazy. And I don't know where I would be if I didn't do my YouTube thing. I really have no idea. I'd probably be in some film school somewhere, which isn't a bad thing, but, yeah, I'd probably be in some film school somewhere, wrestling in college, and but I'm super happy of where social media has taken me. It gave me crazy amounts of opportunities that I would have never imagined, and for such a small following, I always thought, you know, you see YouTube, you see these huge followings of these, you know, YouTubers, and they're getting these brand deals, and they're doing this and doing that, and you're like, wow, like, you know, I would like to be there, but it's there, you know, you need to have crazy amounts of followers. But it's not like that. It's you know, 20,000 people, you know, 10,000 people, 5,000 people, that's a lot of people, and companies want to work with that, and you're getting in people's eyes, and it's going to open up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities. And that's something that people need to realize, because they think the goal is very, very far away, but it's close. Those huge goals, yes, are far away, but those opportunities are very, very close. It just takes a lot of time.
And it's also always changing, man. It's
yeah.
always changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think if we're going to talk about social media, right, you have to talk about intermittent goals, right? Mm-hmm. So when I first started on YouTube, I was happy when I got to 500.
Oh yeah.
I was real happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit, a month I'm at 500, right?
Which that's crazy.
It's pretty good.
That's really good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then Ramsey gave me a little boost, and I'm at a couple of thousand, and then I double it and triple it. And it's like, I've never met this many people in my whole life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let alone now they're supporting me. Mm-hmm. And that's the big thing, right? You guys don't understand how much you mean to us, even though we may not know all of you individually. You all matter, right? And when you realize that, that's when everything changes, man. That's when you start caring so much more about what you're giving out, what the content that we put out, we care so much about, because you care, and we want you to enjoy it. And we thank you for appreciating us. And that's our way of appreciating you. We give you good content, or content that we care about, you know? Yeah. It's a big change when you go from being the guy who posts to being the guy who posts for a reason.
Mm-hmm. Totally, 100%. And that's where some people, it's a good segue into this, because some people, they start posting for a reason, and then they hit that brick wall, which everybody is going to hit when they're on social media. They hit the brick wall and they stop, and that's where everyone stops. Kind of muscling through that wall and smashing through it, and seeing what's on the other side, because there's when you're starting out, it's gonna be tough, and some people, you know, have it easier than others, and some people get a following, they get that one video that hits, and but it's really going to be hard starting off. You know, I had my channel for a while before it started getting to where it was, and it got to where it was in a short amount of time, just because it was that constant push of my parkour content didn't work. Went to my, you know, filmmaking content, didn't work. Did skits, didn't work. Went to the card throwing, bang, it stuck, and then I knew that I could do that. and that's kind of how I figured out what I'm doing. But yeah, Xavier touched on it. Every single one of our subscribers means the world to us, and if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing. And yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say. So I guess,
like, even on this channel, we have 237 subscribers,
which is crazy.
We've done one thing.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's amazing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of you guys, you know.
Oh,
and
yeah.
That's why we're doing this stuff now, and we want to give you good information. But if you guys want to help us, and now here's the thing, right? It is a two-way street. It is, because we are more than willing to pump out buttloads of content that's very butter. Okay.
Oh yeah, very
It's
very
butter. But we need your help, because you guys are the ones that let people know that we're out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So share this stuff, man. If you enjoy it, it only takes a second, man. You know, like the stuff, comment on the stuff, share this stuff. It really helps, man.
Yeah, it really
and then we
does.
could do more of this, because once the 90s come, the 90s are going to be totally different than the 80s. Okay, and we don't know what's coming.
Oh yeah.
There might be 16-bit game systems. We don't know.
Yeah, it's
Just don't know.
definitely, you know, and likes, comments, they really help a lot. And I don't know about Xavier, but I scroll through all my comments. Even if I don't read them, I mean, even if I don't reply to them, I'm always reading my comments and seeing what you guys have to say. Looking at the likes on the videos, it lets me know what you guys like, what you don't like, where I could shape it. So if you like something in particular about the stream, if you don't like something, you know, let us know. We'll try to fix it up and make it the best experience for you guys. So likes definitely help, and let us know what's sticking and what's not in comments, and just staying active. We're trying to build a community, and yeah, as you were saying, like 200 something subscribers that we have right now. It's it's
amazing.
It's crazy. It's
For one thing.
and this is genuinely a lot of fun for me. I don't know if it is for Xavier. I'm assuming it is. Yeah, man. I knew he was gonna say that. but yeah. I just unplugged my my. It's okay. Let's just plug that
His
in.
Kobe headphones, the new ones.
These are the new Beats. Pretty sick. Yeah, but as I was saying, yeah, this is this is a lot of fun for me. It took a lot of build up in the beginning, but now that we're on that smooth, almost smooth ride, I really enjoy this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. But I guess we should segue into how you guys can get started and what you guys could start doing, right?
Yeah, it's got. I think focus. I think focus is the key, right?
Yeah.
Before, when I was on Instagram before, I had maybe 2,000 followers on Instagram. Now I'm not huge on Instagram, but I've done pretty well, I think, in the time that I took it seriously. I was at 2,000, and I mean, you name it, I was posting. I was like, oh, look, a fucking lobster dinner, a bird flying, like just random stuff, and it didn't make any sense. And I had no reason to post anything. It was just all over the place. And once I started focusing, I'm a magician. So what I'm going to post has to do with magic. What I'm going to say is relevant to magic and to life, right? The things that I care about, that I love, not just me hanging out with some, dog in the park and, he's chasing a Frisbee. That doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
Not saying anything. So if you really want to get serious with social media, I think you need to think about what it is you really want to do with social media. What is your point? Do you want to be a brand? Do you want to be a company? Do you want to be a place where you post your work? If you're an artist, it could be like another deviant art where it becomes a portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Totally.
what you have to consider.
But it's also you can start. You could figure out that thing. Sorry to cut you off, Xavier, but I just wanted to butt in real quick. You can find out that thing, and you'll start it, and you'll figure out that it's just not clicking. And yes, you push it for a little bit. It might not be working, and then you could be in the situation where something you had never had an idea would stick. It sticks, and then you find yourself doing something completely different than what you started for, and that's perfectly fine too. It's all about figuring out what you want to do and building to the point where you can post what you want. You know, say if you're doing magic, if you want to branch off and I don't know, make balloon well, no, that's not a good
Yeah, you wanna make balloon animals,
yeah,
big balloon animals. You
you
wanna
know, play with rabbits. You could play with rabbits. It's all magician stuff. Why am I thinking like a magician? You want to be a soda collector, you know, and post on a channel. When you reach, you know, if you can get that fan base that likes you for you and isn't so focused on that on what type of content you're putting out, that's when in my opinion, you really, you know, you struck gold. Because that's if you could do that, that's awesome. But yeah, like Xavier said, finding that thing and then focus. That's the hardest thing, in my opinion, when it comes to social media, is not losing the focus. And I struggle with it. I'm not sure if Xavier struggles with it, but you get at that grind, and then you just lose motivation, you lose focus, you get distracted by other things, and you forget the true importance of the platform and social media and everything it's given to you, and you know, and everything we're preaching. I try my hardest to focus and post, but sometimes I slack, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do slack, and I just kind of, you know, let myself become a potato, and I just don't really do much, and that's hitting that brick wall, and it's very important to push through that.
A lot of it for me is not so much that I'm not doing stuff. Like a lot of times I won't post anything for a while or video for a while. And it's not because I'm literally not doing anything. It's because I'm doing so many other things. Like for those of you who don't know, I also own a company called Lost Art Magic, and that, you know, I create products, and that takes a lot of work. You know, I'm sitting there looking for products, figuring out what to do, finding people to work with, getting things made, have to design stuff, filming, editing, contracts, getting stuff in. You know, it's a lot to manage and still do what I'm doing on my personal side, you know? So like I'm not gonna lie, right now on my company's Lost Art Instagram, I'm losing followers because I'm just not posting. I'm not putting up content, and it's hurting that side of my social media game there. But it's a trade-off, right? I would much rather lose followers and put up good content than put up shit content all the time and get an empty following.
I feel
you know, that's how I look at it. And the same thing with my personal side. I won't post anything if I don't think it's good, if I don't think it's worth it. I've deleted things after I post it because I look back at it and I'm like, man, this is garbage. I don't want to do this. It's not what I stand for.
Yeah, I feel
so, you know, you have to be real honest with yourself, you know, and you have to be okay with being honest with yourself, because it's hard, man. It's hard.
It's hard. Yeah, I feel like in that aspect, that is the only point that I will slightly disagree with you, because and it's, again, it's preference. If you want to post high quality content and post it, it doesn't, you know, you do you when it comes to that aspect. My thing is I always thought quantity over quality, and that's something that I always said, because I always like staying in people's faces and constantly being there, and just have them constantly have that thought of you in their mind, constantly remember that, oh yeah, you know, he posts this day, that day. But that's how I look at it. I don't often, you know, practice that, which I should, because again, I do what Xavier just said. I see something, I don't like the quality of it. You know, there's so many videos that I filmed and I've edited like halfway through and just stopped. You know what I mean? Because you just yeah, like I guess I'm not really disagreeing with Xavier, because in my mind that's the perfect world where you could, you know, but if you could manage that perfect quality with that perfect quantity, you're golden. But there's times where I will edit and I'll shoot something, and like halfway through a shoot I'll be like, this is coming out like crap, and then I'll just stop filming and not do it, which I feel, in my opinion, I should have muscled through it, because at least it's out there. It's content that's out there. People love it no matter what. And, you know, if you have that true following, they will enjoy it. But it's, you know, it's hard.
I just look at it. If I don't enjoy it, I don't expect anybody else to enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Very true.
And it's the same thing with products for me on the business side. I won't release a product if I don't believe in it, if I don't find something good in it. In fact, there's one that I'm working on now, which I showed you. You know, the thing in the mouth. Dirty.
I was like,
But, you know, I've known about it for about 2 months. I've been working on it since I found out about it because I want to get something else out of it, right? And I
Oh, yeah.
want it to be good when I put this on the market. It's not just a thing of, yeah, this is good enough.
Mhm.
People will buy it. Yeah, people will buy it, but I want them to really enjoy it, and I want them to really get something out of it. So it's a lot of work, man. It for those of even gamers, you look at gamers, professional gamers, people are like, oh, you make a living playing games. Yeah, they're playing
It
for
takes so much
freaking
work.
16 hours,
I know.
studying each and every move and replaying and trying things out and test gaming and then little skirmishes. It's so much work.
But then also all the behind the scenes work that goes into the streaming and the uploading and the content making.
Yeah.
They do put in a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything you do, you can do well if you're willing to put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start putting the work in, that's when you understand why some people have a following and why some people don't. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I have a huge following. I'm not saying Nick has a huge following or anybody. Some people just do, and some people. I think what we have is solid.
Yeah.
I think we have solid beginnings. This is our beginning, right? You guys are with us to watch this grow, right?
Yeah.
But when I first started, I didn't think it was all this. I didn't think it was as much as
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with Nick in Google and working 12 hours a day and then coming up with an idea. What do you think of this? How about I show you this? Blah blah blah. And then the next day we're filming something, and then okay, well maybe you should try this, that. It's a lot, man. But I wouldn't change it for the world, man. I wouldn't change it for anything right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's been amazing.
Oh yeah.
The fact that people, my friend Chris calls me up. He's like, let's rent a mansion. Cool. Let's do it. Let's call up our peoples. And we call up those peoples, and then they show up. And for 4 days, we literally just hustle out material. Amazing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Nuts.
Never. A year ago, if you asked me this, I'd be like, yeah, right. Shut up.
Bro, a year ago, you tell me, oh yeah, you're gonna be in LA in a mansion with Xavier, Chris, Alex Pandrea, Orbit, Shinlim, Spidey. I would have been like, yeah, okay, yeah. But like, Jesus, like it's and I'm hoping that that's a kick in the ass for you guys out there, that you guys should start on this. I didn't imagine any of this in a million years. Like I said it from the beginning. I couldn't have predicted any of this, and that's and to kind of segue back to the the quality. I don't want you guys to take away from this as like, oh, I need to get really good looking content, and if you film it, you don't like it, you need to start. Like you can't be picky about your quality if you don't have any quantity. So you need to take your phone. If you have this, you're ready to go, and you can start posting, and you can make YouTube videos. They're not going to be great. They're not going to be the quality of PewDiePie or
who, by the way, has shit quality. It's amazing.
but he has shit quality, but he like embraces the shit quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's great.
Perfect. It's so good. But yeah, so if you have one of these, start creating, start making your content, start posting it on Instagram, getting people's faces. And then eventually, once you grow that following, you get a little bit of money in your pocket. You can go buy the equipment, and it's, you just grow. And you just need to start. You need to start doing, because if you sit around and you say, hey, I'm going to film this, but I don't have a good camera. I'm going to film this, but I don't know if it's a really good idea. I'm going to film this, but I don't have that many followers on Instagram. You're never going to get anywhere. You just got to put what you want out there, and you'll succeed.
The biggest thing I've noticed is, and what I tell people is that they have to get over the feeling of feeling stupid.
Exactly, 100%.
Right. So people are like, oh, I'm gonna walk around with my phone like this. Oh, I'm gonna feel so stupid. But the minute they're hanging out with their friends, like, yo, let's take a selfie, bro. Yeah. And they pull, right. It's amazing that people will feel stupid when there's a purpose, but when it's for nothing, it's perfectly okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And
everybody knows this. Everybody sees this. Everybody is used to this. but just do it for something else besides, hanging out with a bunch of people doing nothing.
Yeah, the first time I ever met Xavier, we went to, I believe it was the Tannins. Tannins was the first shop we went to, and
when the lady tried to call the cop on me.
that was something else. But but Xavier, we're outside and Xavier's vlogging. I never vlogged before outside. It was in my in my studio, and I would just film, what I had to, and that was it. I never was outside vlogging, and I was like, I kind of feel weird doing it. And Xavier takes his camera. I think I have it on video somewhere. It might actually be in the vlog. He stands in the middle of the sidewalk and spins in circles and is like singing like some sort of song, vlogging. People are walking around him. I was like, okay. And I just started vlogging ever since then. Just because, like, you gotta get past that mental barrier. And to add on to the fact that people feel like they look stupid, not only in this aspect, but they also feel stupid about, posting themselves online and how are people going to take it. My senior year of high school is when I started taking it seriously and started
Somebody said, Xavier, I was crying when you said, do it. I died. That lady got wrecked.
Oh my God, that's so good. We have to tell that story after we speak about this. But yeah, it's just not caring about what people think. It's gonna feel weird. You're gonna feel stupid. You're gonna feel cringy putting yourself out there. But and trust me, I was cringy. Oh my God! If you watch my old videos, oh, you're in for a cringe fest. Oh, it's so bad. But you develop that presence online, which I'm not saying my presence online is good because it's still shit. But I'm working on it, and you will develop. You will get better, and you got to embrace it. If you embrace it, if you don't embrace it 100%, you're going to come off as weird, and people aren't going to take the content. You need to go in there 100%, guns blazing, and and make the crap out of your content. That's my quote that I'm going to leave in this episode. Make the crap out of your content.
Yeah. That's great. I'll tell you this much though.
We got a new subscriber.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mateo Vasquez. Did I say that? I hope that Vasquez. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry. Thank you for subscribing. That is awesome. I didn't even know that happens. Like, look at that. I guess I must have set that up.
We gotta change that font color though. You can barely see it.
Yeah, I know, right?
But here's the thing too, and this goes back to that lady, right? There are laws everywhere, and where you are determines how far you can go. I know in New York specifically, and in most places in the country, with very few exceptions, you are allowed to film anywhere that is accessible to the public. So if you're walking down the street, you can film absolutely anything. Police, firemen, FBI, cars driving by, people walking by, inside of business windows. You can literally film anything that is visible to the public. Now, when you're outside of a building and somebody walks out to you and says you cannot film the front of the building because I'm securing it, there's a big problem. Because now that person is not only making a false claim, but is literally impeding on your rights, especially in America, as an American. That is your right to do that. Right. So now it becomes more than just filming content. Now it becomes protection of your rights. Right. And that's where it went for me.
Oh, yeah.
This security guard who's unhappy with her life and her job is not going to tell me I can't film outside of a place because she's miserable. And then she's going to ban me from walking into a store. I said, okay, you don't want me to go up? Call the place and tell them that you're not allowing a paying customer to go to their store because you're upset that I'm filming outside. You know what I mean?
Guys,
and that's where
please go watch the videos. Watch Xavier's vlog that day. Watch my vlog that day. I'll probably put it in the description of this podcast. But it's so good. It's so funny, the interaction between Xavier and her.
And I wasn't backing down.
The first 10 minutes of meeting Xavier, that happens. So like I was like, oh damn, this guy does not mess around. He's ready to throw down at any moment. Like, bro, it's so good. She's like, I'm gonna call the cops, and you're like, do it, call the cops. I'm like, oh damn. I was like, Jesus. Just
I'll
got
like, I'll
off the
call for
train.
you. I'll call for you. I will dial it. You want to talk on my phone? You could do it.
It's so good.
But you know, it's just sometimes people forget where they are and what they're doing. You're a security guard. Your job is to make sure nobody messes with the building inside. Outside, you have no control over.
She stepped outside to
Came
yell at
outside
us.
to yell at us. Yeah,
It's like, what?
And that's why I lost it.
Jesus.
Oh, how is it resolved? She shut her mouth like she should, and I went up to Tannins and finished the vlog.
There you go. Very true.
What? Because realistically, if you're gonna tell somebody I'm gonna call the cops, call the cops. If you're really gonna call the cops, don't say a word. Just call the cops.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told her, call the cops, and the cops will tell you that you're wrong. Mm-hmm. Call them. Let's do it right now.
He was just looking out to mess somebody else's day up and spice up her life a little bit.
Because her husband left her with 14 kids, and she's trying to figure out how to protect her coke habit. Not my problem.
Well, that took a turn.
Not my problem.
Okay, all right, guys. So yeah, so that's
So here's an interesting thing. Somebody says security guards here in Texas have full rights of the owner of the property. That's what a security guard is. That's nationwide.
Yeah.
However, there are still laws that supersede a company's rights, and an owner of a property is a company. Okay. Once you're in public, I can do anything I want according to the law. And yeah, you can kick a cop off your property in most places. That doesn't mean they'll listen. But, you know, you can if I'm walking down the street and you own a house and your dog is running around the yard and I stop in the middle of the street, not impeding traffic, and I film your dog, you can't say crap about it. If you don't want your dog being filmed, bring the dog inside.
Very true.
No, if you're going to be a vlogger, if you're going to do this kind of stuff, it is important that you know your rights and what you're legally entitled to, and more importantly, what you're entitled not to do.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take things into consideration. There are some times where people are very uncomfortable being in front of the camera. You could easily be a dick and just go, I don't give a shit. But maybe that's not the right thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe you just go, look, I'm sorry, didn't mean to upset you. And you just kind of bring it somewhere else, you know, and that's fine too. You don't have to be a social justice warrior for everything, you know. But if a cop tells you to turn off your camera, can you still record? If a cop tells you to turn off your camera because you're standing outside of the way and you're not impeding in their investigation or anything, they have no right to tell you to turn off your camera. If they tell you to turn off your camera because you're being arrested, you can still leave the camera on and be arrested. You don't have to turn off the camera. But you have to mitigate how far are you willing to take it. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. I'm not saying, you know, play that game and you can get arrested and it won't be a fun time for you. If you're willing to go through that, then go through it. But, you know, that's up to you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But yeah, you know, when if you're gonna start vlogging, know your laws, know if you're allowed to film in the area you're filming at, and always get permission. If you're not, if you're not sure, always ask.
I went to a convention. Actually, the convention I just came back from last year, Battle of the Magicians. I went there with myself, and I went to a tattoo place with Kashawn Wallace. And I'm just saying this because it brings something to attention, right? The size of cameras. Actually, I have my camera over there. Here's another one. So we walk in, and there's a group of people, all with their cell phones, recording their friend get a tattoo. I walk in with this camera and Cash, and you know we both want to get a tattoo. And I said, is it cool if I film him? And he goes, I'm sorry, we don't allow filming. And I turned and I said, well, what about them? And they're all filming with their cell phones. And he goes, yeah, we don't allow filming. And I just, you know, now I can't say anything, right? Realistically, because it's not my place. It's his place, right? But, could I fight? I could have fought and be like, okay, you have to tell them to stop filming.
Yeah.
If that's your rule, then they need to stop, and made it this whole thing. Then they would have been unhappy, and then we would have been unhappy. That Cash would have gotten a shitty tattoo. So you have to mitigate how far you want to fight for that. It's not always worth it. And in the end, I got to talk crap about the place, which was really nice.
Yeah, I saw the vlog.
Yeah, ink and destroy. Never go there.
But yeah, it's camera sizes, I guess, does play its part, and that's why I was saying, maybe start with the phone. You could look like you're on FaceTime and be vlogging. It's a great start to build your way up into the comfortability of using, say, a DSLR. Start with the phone, build up some money, buy a smaller camera, then get the big boy, get the DSLR, start filming with that, and I guess that's a good progression that you could use. And always, one thing that I wanted to say, it's a little bit off topic, but it's still on the topic of social media, is always don't be afraid to ask. That's my big thing, is always ask. And obviously don't you. Okay, so if you're asking another creator, they need to be getting something out of it. Never ask them for a shout out. That's not what I mean by that. I mean ask as ask for, so say I did a collab with Corridor Digital. I shot them an email, and this is how I asked. I said, I forgot exactly what I said, but I said, hey, love your guys' stuff, been watching you for a while, saw that you had a magician on the Sam and Nico channel, would love to come on and teach everybody how to throw cards. I asked, but I provided them with value, content, and teaching them how to throw cards. I'm not just saying, hey, can I come and throw cards at your place, and you guys film me and post it on your channel and give me a shout out. That's a terrible way to be. They need to be getting something out of it. They got content, and they got to learn how to throw cards. And that's something that Jake from Corridor Digital touches on in one of their videos. It was all about branding and personal branding. He actually talked about the fact that I provided value to the rest of the Corridor Digital group, and not just wasn't like, hey, I want to come and be, the center of attention and get on your channel for your subscribers. So that always ask. I would have never met Xavier if I didn't, say, sure, hey, you want to get together, you want to film something. That's how sure. That's how we met. That's how I started. I never in a million years would think Xavier was going to answer. But then he answered. We got together. We filmed something, and now here we are, wearing weird clothing on a podcast. It's like,
just waiting for the new millennium.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it never hurts to ask.
Now here's something. Somebody asked an interesting question. Does size matter? It's a funny question, but the answer is yes. Size does matter, and it goes back to. Let's go back to that tattoo parlor. This camera didn't bother him. This camera did. A DSLR would have really bothered him, and a broadcast camera would have made him pass out. Right? So does size matter? Yes. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why I have literally 5 cameras. I'm on a GH4 right now. I bought a GH5. I have a 6D that I'm using. And when I'm outside of the house, I use this. Right? This is the camera I use. And the reason why is because for some reason, the size of cameras scare people.
It really does.
And it does. So I pull this out when I'm in the city because no one cares about this. They're used to tourists. Yes, exactly. They're used to tourists where they just come, oh, I want to take a pic. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's so nice. Or, oh, buildings, birds, right? They're used to that. So this is okay for them. But if I pull out my DSLR and I do the same thing, all of a sudden it's something else, right? And they're like, you can't take pictures here. And then you turn around and you see everybody with this, and they're all taking pictures, right? So does size matter? Most places of the country, yes, it does, because it also shows a different level of seriousness. If I'm pulling out a DSLR, and obviously it's money, okay? This thing looks professional. It feels professional. I have this mic on top of it. This is a professional thing. And that business may not want that secret story getting out or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So yes, size matters. And Pig Cake actually said it true. It's crazy how the perception changes based on the size of the camera. Smaller cameras give a tourist vibe, and no one seems to care. That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Hey, let's give a quick little shout out to Pig Cake real quick. Pig Cake,
Yeah, man.
thanks for stopping in. And guys, please go check out Pig Cake Plus. I think you're doing like news related stuff on there. I watched a little bit of it. I'm a subscriber. But yeah, guys, go check out Pig Cake Plus and Pig Cake.
Yeah, Pig Cake's been tearing it up, man.
Yeah, he's been killing it. Talk about focus and grind.
I'm proud of you, bro.
Man, if you guys want to see true focus and grind, go subscribe to Pig Cake. He's where it's at, and he's really putting in the work. Yeah. And it's so funny. I'm telling you, like if I just want to crack up for a half hour, I just put on some Pig Cake. Not even for the tutorial. I'll just let it play and listen to it.
On my other computer, I'm actually here. You could hear it maybe.
So, yo, I'm gonna shout out to Jabrizi for donating.
I'm actually watching Pig Cake on my other computer right now.
It's so good, so good. Yeah, guys, go subscribe to Pig Cake. But yeah, I guess to Pig Cake, I love y'all. It's I guess we should just wrap up the video. Everything we said, because I know it was a lot. It was a lot of good information. I'm surprised we went on this far because I was worried that we weren't gonna have that much to talk about. But there's there's a lot to talk about when it's kind of, because this is what we're passionate about. This is what we do. This is what we do and why we do it. So
I'll tell you this much: if Pig Cake taught you to give less fucks, you're not really watching Pig Cake.
Exactly. Like
you're not watching. That guy cares. So, dude, when I first saw Pig Cake, I swear to you, I was like, who the hell is this hack? Just another shitty tutorial YouTube channel. And then I started watching him, and the guy, he knows his stuff. He's very knowledgeable.
Oh yeah.
He has a lot of understanding. And if that's what you get from Pig Cake, you are really not watching Pig Cake. I'm going to tell you, you're not a fan. Bam. Okay? I said it. You're not a Pig Cake fan.
Yeah, I had his ads popping up on my YouTube videos. I was like, what the hell is this? And it's like, do you have a big penis? And then cards would get thrown onto the table, and I was like, oh my freaking god. And I was like, who the hell is this guy? And then lo and behold, I start watching. I'm like, damn, like he really, in the core of it, he really knows what he's talking about, and he's really up to date and knowledgeable. So go check him out, guys. But yeah, totally. If he gives no fucks, you guys should watch him if you want that little boost of confidence. Start creating content. Guys, don't care about what people think. They don't matter. What matters is what you're doing, and if it makes you happy, that's what you should be doing. Like it could be the craziest thing in the world. I mean, I throw cards on YouTube. That's weird. If you want to dress up in an astronaut costume and dance around in front of a green screen with cats behind you, do it. There's good there. If you enjoy doing it, the followers will come. And I guess that's the main takeaway. Don't care what people think. Don't be afraid to ask. Focus, grind, and just start doing it. You won't know until you try.
Yep, that's exactly it. Don't be lazy.
Yeah,
it's it's easy to make 5 videos.
Oh yeah,
it's hard to make 3 months of videos.
And the amount of friends of mine, and people that are my friends that I've seen at school, that start the channels and they just upload 1 or 2 videos, and then it doesn't get to where they wanted it, where they expected it to be, and then they just, and then they stop. And I'm like, hey, what do you expect? People expect to get on the platform, post 1 video, it goes viral, and then they're a millionaire. That's how it used to be. You could post 1 video, it goes viral, and then all of a sudden you're successful. It's not like that anymore. It's so far from like that. You need to wake up and get at the grind, and you really got to want it. And if you enjoy doing it, perfect.
Yeah. And it'll get there, man.
Exactly. It takes time and practice and focus.
And I've had more fun lately. It's fun now that I could go to a convention and just hang out with my friends.
Oh yeah.
I love it. I still can't believe I'm doing this. Hey, Alk, thanks for stopping by, bro.
Hello, Alk. I just wanted to say hi. I don't Okay, wait. Oh, he's heading out. Okay. See you later, Alec. Okay. Well, yeah, so that was pretty good. I'm happy with the way that direction of that podcast went. I hope you guys have some takeaways. I hope you guys really enjoy it and start creating some content. Get on that grind.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you guys put out. And if you do, let me know. I'll check it out. I'm excited. And yeah, so that's that. We can start wrapping up this podcast now if you want, Xavier.
Let's go to the big screen.
Let's go to the big screen. Hell yes. Bang. We out here.
So guys, like our video, comment, subscribe, share it, please. Let people know we're doing this. Give us ideas of what you want us to talk about. Mm-hmm. Give us ideas. Mm-hmm. We want to know what you want.
Yes,
and
exactly.
And also, don't forget. I mean, I don't know if Nick is doing. I know I'm doing it. If you guys want a shout out or something for your friends or for yourself, you know, I do a thing called Cameo.
Oh yeah, I'm on Cameo.
Yeah,
I haven't touched it in a while, but
yeah, man, check that out. Also, I just signed up for a new thing where you can FaceTime me for a few minutes. It's like a same kind of thing, right? And if you want to just talk and jam for a few minutes, hit up. I'll we'll have all the links later on. But check that out too. And it just supports us, man. It does. It helps us keep making this content and doing stuff like this. We enjoy this. We wouldn't do this if we didn't enjoy this. And we want to keep doing it.
Exactly.
I know that.
Yeah, I love it. Love all this. I love this crazy podcast. I love this and this should be a little something about zero fucks given. I mean, look at what I'm wearing. Look at what we're doing. This is the craziest you're gonna get out in here.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I don't know what the 90s are gonna bring. I said it before.
Exactly.
But, you know, who knows? They might have things where, you know, cassette tape might not be the thing. Who knows?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, look at where 8-track went. Now it's cassettes. Who knows where it's going?
You don't know.
You know,
only time will tell.
Maybe they'll have phones that you could talk to people on. I don't know.
Oof.
Like video.
Could you imagine?
The future.
Could you imagine? Crazy.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Videos you can download. What?
What's a download?
Well, I mean, when you so you know when you put the floppy disk in your Commodore.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
So you could put information on it. Putting information on the floppy disk is downloading it to the floppy disk.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like downloading a movie.
Yeah. So like imagine when DARPANET kind of breaks down, right? And they make it public. Then we'll be able to have access to it and we can download like ASCII nudes.
Ooh. I can't wait for the future.
The nipples are always at symbols.
All right, guys, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, follow this podcast, check it out on iTunes when it comes to iTunes, and that's basically it. I enjoyed this episode. This is a fun episode. Definitely a step up from the last episode, and we're getting there, guys. Any suggestions you have, leave them below. My name's Nic Suriano, and that's
Xavier,
and that was our podcast, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.